Hello everyone, I am Sammy, your devoted manga otaku, and welcome to my manga space. Today, I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freak out tag, but with a little twist. I've altered the questions slightly so that they better apply to manga. I'll list the original and edited questions, as well as links to the OG creators of this tag in the description below. This is my first year doing this tag, and I was inspired by Jordaline Reads, who did this tag on her channel last month, and it looked like so much fun. Essentially, it's designed to highlight and share the manga that you've already read this year, anticipated releases, good reads, bad reads, favorite characters, and so on. It allows you to check in with yourself and reflect on your reading so far in the year. Okay, I need to stop talking because I'm trying to keep this video on the shorter side. So with the intro out of the way, I invite you to grab a coffee or other beverage of your choice and let's talk manga. Number 1. Best completed manga series you've read so far in 2021. This was a pretty easy pick for me for two reasons. One, I haven't read many completed manga series so far in 2021, and two, out of the finished manga series that I have read, there's only one that deserves the title of best, and that's After the Rain by Jun Meizuki. Once I started reading this, I couldn't put it down, and I binged all 5 omnibus volumes in under 24 hours. This slice of life tale is about a 17-year-old student named Akira who loses her dream of becoming a track and field star because she injures her ankle. One day, after finding shelter from the rain in a small family restaurant, Akira is greeted by the 45-year-old restaurant manager, Mazami, who gives Akira a free cup of coffee. After meeting Mazami, Akira is struck with Cupid's arrow and she falls head over heels in love with him. What will this middle-aged man do when Akira confesses her love to him? I went into this series thinking that it was going to be an age gap romance, but I don't think that accurately describes the series. If you like heartwarming, deep, emotional stories with multi-dimensional characters and complex storytelling, then you'll love After the Rain. Not only is the premise interesting and unique, the art is stunning and very reminiscent of older shoujo art styles like Sailor Moon. I sobbed through the entire last omnibus of this series. The ending is bittersweet and it's beautiful. I highly recommend you pick this up if you haven't already. Question number 2, best ongoing manga series you've read so far in 2021. Now, this is harder for me to pick because I've read so many incredible ongoing series this year, but since I'm being forced to pick just one, it'll have to be Living Room Matsunaga-san by Keiko Iwashita. This manga is addicting and it will literally make your heart melt. This age gap romance follows Miko, a 17-year-old girl who, due to family hardships, has to move into her uncle's boarding house and live with 5 adults. Miko's excited for the independence, and with the help of her new roommates, her transition into her new life and her new responsibilities moves smoothly. There is, however, one tenant who takes special care in making sure Miko feels at home, the grumpy Jun Matsunaga-san. At first, Miko sees him as annoying. He's kind of like a parental figure, but the more Matsunaga-san is kind to her, the more she can't ignore the feelings that she's developed for him. The romantic tension between our leads is one of my favorite elements of this series. Sometimes this kind of tension in manga can come off as annoying or make a story boring, but Iwashita Sensei gives readers just enough to make things exciting. And because this is an age gap manga, you kind of want the characters to hold off romantic advances. It's a balancing act. The character designs are attractive and lovable, with each character having depth and personality to them. I love that the hairstyles and the clothing are very trendy, and the boarding house has a contemporary architecture style, which gives the series a modern atmosphere. The art is so well done, and Iwashida's sensei's facial expressions are unmatched. If you haven't read this playful, lively shoujo title, I highly recommend that you give it a go. Question number 3, what's a new release that you haven't read yet but want to? This series isn't technically new. I think the first volume was released last year, but the final installment was just released, either this month or last month, so maybe it does count as new. And that's Blue Flag by Kato. I've wanted to read this series ever since I heard literally everybody talk about how great it is. Admittedly, I don't know much about it apart from it being about a love quadrangle. I heard that it has really good LGBTQ plus representation. I've seen people on Instagram mention that it's an emotional series with interesting characters and humor bits thrown in as well. The reason that I haven't picked this up yet is simply because I'm having a really hard time finding it in stock. There was one time last month where the whole series was available on Amazon, but I had already bought manga that month, so I had to use my powers of self-control and stop myself from getting it. Now it's back to being unavailable again. One day, I will get this manga, I will read this manga, and it'll be a good day. Question number 4. What's your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? This series is one that I've been anticipating for months now, and I cross my fingers that the release date doesn't get pushed back, and that's the complete collector's edition of A Silent Voice by Yoshitoki Oima. I think I butchered that, I apologize. I feel like everyone has read A Silent Voice or has at least watched the anime movie adaptation, and I have done neither of those things. I'm actually really embarrassed that I haven't read this series yet, and I call myself a manga otaku. Anyways, a couple months back, I was going to buy the box set, but when looking into pricing, I noticed that Kodansha was releasing these beautiful hardcover 2-volume collector's editions, and I knew that I just had to have them. The first is being released October 26th, so it'll be like a late birthday present to myself, and the second will be out in February 2022. I don't know too much about this series, and I've kind of done that on purpose. I want to go into this story blind. It is such a popular manga story, but what I do know is that it follows a boy who bullies a girl with a hearing disability. I am extremely excited to get my hands on this, and it genuinely sounds like something that I'm going to love. Number 5, what's your biggest disappointing manga so far? The most disappointing read for 2021 so far is An Incurable Case of Love by Maki and Joji. I had very high expectations going into this series, and it did not deliver. Despite being labeled a josei series, this manga was riddled with high school tropes and cliches, which gives off this juvenile shoujo vibe. Also, instead of taking advantage of this unique hospital setting, Injoji Sensei chooses to tell the story in an office inside the hospital. This storyline is boring and predictable, plus the pacing was all over the place. As for the characters, they fell flat for me, and I found them both to be very annoying. This series had a lot of potential, but it missed the mark for me. I think if you're going into this knowing that it's a cliche, smutty soap opera, you'll be okay. I was just expecting something more romantic, something deeper, and something more thoughtful. Not my favorite. Question number 6, what's your biggest surprising manga so far? When I started reading QQ Sweeper by Kyosuke Motomi, I didn't know much about it, nor did I have high expectations. I knew I wanted to read something out of my comfort zone, so I thought I'd play it safe with a supernatural romance. After reading the first volume, I was hooked. Hooked to the point that I bought all the available volumes of the sequel, Queen's Quality, mere days after finishing QQ Sweeper. Basically, the story is about a secret organization that travels to people's subconsciousness and exorcises evil spirits possessing people's minds and their hearts. Meanwhile, the same organization helps these people in the mundane world by cleaning their homes and their environments. The newest recruit in this organization, Fumi, has something mysterious and special about her, but only time will tell what that truly means. I know that this sounds weird, but you just have to trust me with this one, okay? Motomi Sensei does an exceptional job of delivering the perfect balance of mystery, romance, drama, comedy, and suspense in this intriguing supernatural story. I'm very excited to read Queen's Quality and watch the main characters build on this prequel adventure. Question number 8, who's your favorite new or new to you mangaka? So I've only read one of Kyosuke Motomi's manga series, which was QQ Sweeper, but I just have this feeling that I'm going to love her other works as well. Do you guys ever get that feeling like deep down in your gut, like you just know something? I really enjoyed the plot of QQ Sweeper. I enjoyed the storytelling, the pacing of the story, the humor, the development of the characters, and I love Motomi Sensei's art style. It's so expressive and so beautiful. If the quality of her other manga is similar to QQ Sweeper, I have no doubt that she'll be a new favorite mangaka of mine. I have both Queen's Quality and Dengeki Daisy to read this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing if my gut feeling is right on. Question number 9, who is your new fictional crush? So my fictional crush for 2021 is Jun Matsunaga from Living Room Matsunaga-san. In my opinion, he's one of the hottest men in fiction right now. His personality is adorable. He's cranky, but he's also sweet and kind. His attitude towards life is very mature, and the fact that he's always trying to take care of everyone is very heartwarming. I don't know, everything about him just screams cool to me. He's a graphic designer, his clothes and hair are stylish, even his glasses are cool. Also, his muscles are they're just good. They're great. I actually have an honorable mention for fictional crush, and that's Kaede from Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight by Rin Mikimoto. Kaede is so charming and so handsome, and I love his cute and fluffy personality. There were moments in that series where he would be talking, he would be giving some sort of speech, and I would just be like falling in love with him. I would just be swooning because he was just so charming. So I definitely had to mention him as well. Question number 10, who is your newest favorite character? So my newest favorite character of 2021 is definitely Anya Forger from Spy Family by Tetsuya Endo. This little girl has stolen my heart, and I would do anything for her. I love Anya's goofy facial expressions, her big ideas, and her love for spy cartoons. She reminds me so much of my 4-year-old daughter, which is very interesting because Anya is about 4 or 5 years old in the series, but she's pretending to be a 6-year-old. Recently, I realized that Anya is the glue that holds the Forger family together. Without her telepathy and intervention in certain situations, the Forgers would have broken up ages ago. Some of them might have even died. Everyone else in the Forger family has some deep alternative motive as to why they want to be a part of this family, but not Anya. She just wants to be a part of a family, and she just wants to help her mama and her papa save the world. She's just so cute. It's like a cuteness overload to my heart. Question number 11, what manga made you cry? You know, an easier question would be what manga didn't make me cry. I'm a very emotional person, but there was one manga that stood above the rest in terms of how much it made me cry, and that's After the Rain by Junmei Uzuki. This manga made me ugly cry for over an hour. I'm talking full-on streams of tears pouring down my face, pouring all over my chest. My t-shirt was wet. It was salty with bittersweet tears. And then after I was finished reading the last volume, after my husband held me and calmed me, I thought about the ending and I started sniveling all over again. Even the day after, I still couldn't talk about the finale because my eyes would just well up with tears. That manga wrecked me. But it was good. It was great. It was a great ending. I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was a very good wrap up of the story, of the characters. I still recommend it. You probably won't cry as much as me. Question number 12. What is one manga that made you happy? One manga that consistently makes me feel happy whenever I read a new volume is Sweat and Soap by Kentetsu Yamada. The couple this manga follows are some of the most human characters I have ever read in fiction, and their relationship is refreshingly realistic. This wholesome romance features strong, healthy communication with little drama, little conflict. I enjoy that this manga doesn't shy away from the romance in the bedroom. And it even uses those scenes as an opportunity to show what a healthy romance looks like under the covers. The quirkiness of the characters combined with the healthy romance and slice of life narratives, it makes me very happy. And if you haven't read this yet, you should, because I bet that they'd make you happy too. Question number 13. What's the most beautiful manga you've bought or received so far this year? Hands down, the most beautiful manga that I bought this year was the entire Sailor Moon Eternal Edition series. These manga are gorgeous. I mean, they are super glittery. They're big, they're nice to hold in the hand, they're nice to read. The French flaps, come on. The beautiful illustrations inside, these full color illustrations, I'm just blown away. I love it. I love the premium paper. It's just stunning. Like, look at that. And there's 10 of these. I have 10 of these volumes, of these gorgeous special edition volumes. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat because they're just so beautiful. But I do have a runner-up, so I'm going to show you guys that as well. And that is A Bride's Story by Karu Mori. I pronounced that incorrectly, I know I did. These are stunning as well. They're not French flaps, they're actually dust covers. The artwork, like, it's just gorgeous. It's so detailed. I cannot wait to haul the rest of these. They are currently upstairs in a box. I have quite a few boxes upstairs. But I bought these during my shopping spree video. My husband got this first volume for me for Mother's Day. But yeah, these were my most beautiful manga before I got the Sailor Moon manga, and I just had to show them to you guys in case you haven't seen them. Number 14, what manga do you need to read by the end of the year? Okay, we're gonna list them off. Yeah, we're just gonna list them.
All My Darling Daughters, Daytime Shooting Star, How Do We Relationship, I Hear the Sunspot, I Think Our Son Is Gay, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, Life Lessons with Uramichi Omi-san, Love Me Not, A Man and His Cat, Moroku-chan, Our Dreams at Dusk, Shimani Tasagare, Paradise Kiss, the 20th Anniversary Edition, Perfect World, the Sailor Moon Eternal Editions, Shortcake Cape, A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow, Denjaki Daisy, Utsubara, The Story of a Novelist, and Uzumaki, the 3-in-1 edition.
Now, that might seem like a huge list, but those are just the manga I need to read that I've hauled. You have no idea how big the list truly is. I literally have 6 unopened Right Stuff boxes in my room right now, plus all of my pre-order boxes. I'm drowning in unread manga right now. I have a problem. But yeah, those are all of the books, and this was me freaking out about them. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on any of the books that I talked about, or copy and paste some of the questions in the comments and let me know what you've read so far in 2021. If you're interested in watching more videos from me, you can check out my end card where I'll have links to my most recent videos. I hope you all have a manga-nificent day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!